Hi, I'm coming to you today to talk about happiness. And what prompted my desire to speak to you about that today was that I have a dear friend who went to a convention, and she actually got to meet and sip champagne with the author of these two books right here, The Happiness Advantage and Before Happiness, Shawn Achor. He's one of my favorite authors. I highly encourage you to read his books. But it just reminded me how much I have integrated intentional happiness into my life. And I wanted to give you some tips that primarily come from his resources, although I've used a lot of other materials to develop my motivational speaking and coaching around happiness. But there's two things. The first one is do more of what makes you happy. So I actually did that this weekend. I love animals, and a friend of mine invited me to come and watch a horse show. And so I drug my husband out there, and we spent all afternoon in the heat and watched this amazing horse show. It was a play day, so they did a lot of fun things like kind of musical chairs and some barrel racing. And I was just felt so blessed. Here's the thing I want you to know today. You can be intentional about doing things that give you pleasure, that make you happy. You have to, because if not, life just passes you by, guys. And you wind up in the drudgery of day to day. So do something that makes you happy. This week, I challenge you to put something on your schedule that is out of your element a little bit, like I don't normally go to horse shows, and that you know would bring you joy. Point number 2 is to be intentional about your surroundings, because that's really important. Where you work, where you live. Bring in things that make you happy. For instance, my little dogs make me happy. So I'm blessed because I'm self-employed, I work from home, and I get to spend all day with a dog on my lap. And I do that intentionally because that brings me joy, it brings me peace. Maybe you can't sit all day with your dog on your lap, but you can bring a picture of your dog to work, something that triggers that warm feeling that you have inside. And remove negativity. If your office is set up so that it feels yucky and it feels blah and it's dark, bring in a plant, bring in some pictures, whatever you're allowed to do. I challenge you today to be intentional about bringing more happiness in your life. And here's why. Research shows that a tiny little thing, like the two things I just mentioned, increase your happiness and your productivity and how well your brain is working and your ability to be successful by leaps and bounds. So think about it. If you did one thing this week that you really want to do, and you brought in one picture or one or two small things that bring you joy to have in your environment, that could make you more successful. Are you game to try it? Let me know. Good luck and be happy.